Hello, Earth Signs. This is something new that I'm trying. What you can do to maintain your mental health for the month of December. Broken down by week, there are roughly 5 weeks in December, 2 half weeks starting today, December 1st. So, the 2 cards for every week, right? The first week, week 1. You have the Six of Swords and the Fool in reverse, the Two of Swords and the Star. Now the Six of Swords, this talks about a transition, a rite of passage, a journey from some place that wasn't very good for you, something that wasn't good for you, and you're moving away from that to a better place. To some place where it's less emotionally, less mentally taxing on you. Now the Fool in reverse, this talks about holding back because you're uncertain, or maybe even you're feeling like a little foolish, or like you might be being taken advantage of. So you're holding back from taking that leap of faith, that risk, that new beginning on your journey because you're afraid of this. Now with the Six of Swords, it's telling you not to hold back. It's telling you not to take risks when you're moving forward here, when you're trying to transition out of this negativity. It's saying don't take risks, but keep moving forward. Try to have that innocence and hope of the Fool as you're getting out of whatever these negative thought patterns, these negative harmful waters are, as you're trying to navigate them. Don't worry about holding back. It talks about freedom can become a limitation if it isn't used wisely. So really pay attention to what you're doing here and how you're doing it as you're transitioning. The Two of Swords, this talks about being at a crossroad, and it's really taking up a lot of your mental energy. It's affecting you more than just mentally, to try and move away from these negative thoughts, from this negative situation. You see this face here that's almost, it's like there's a statue underneath the water and the statue fell, right? There's a statue of what is it at Gibraltar, the seventh wonder of the world, the statue of Colossus, the lighthouse that was meant to guide people through the Straits of Gibraltar, the giant 7-foot, or 7-story statue. And it fell. It fell into the Mediterranean Sea, right? So it's almost like here's this guiding light, but then the guiding light, the path that you were choosing to go down, all of a sudden it got taken away from you. And now you're trying to figure out what to do next. You're trying to figure out where to go. You're at this decision point with this Two of Swords and the Star here. This talks about a dream come true. It talks about moving towards your dream, and it talks about receiving a healing because you're moving towards your dream. Let me just double check one extra thing. I just remembered something that isn't a very common interpretation of the Star. Besides being open to embracing new ideas, oh, did I not write it down? It can talk about renewal. So once you get once you get out of this disconnection from yourself and this indecision, and you start moving towards these calmer waters, you start moving away from the negative thinking, the negative people around you, and you decide to make that journey, then you're going to get this healing. You'll get this reconnection to yourself. That's what the star is talking about here. So for week 2, we have the Queen of Swords. Queen of Swords, she talks about very discerned thinking. She would be like Buddha, right? She sits underneath the tree. She gets her knowledge, and she gets it from observing in an unbiased way, from not putting her emotions into what she's thinking about, from not acting from her emotions, but acting from her higher self, her more logical self. And so she's got that balanced thinking and that ability to communicate in a higher form through that thinking. And the 8 of Cups, this talks about moving towards your goal. Sometimes it talks about spirituality. And the Queen of Swords can also talk about the higher self being the place where you make your thoughts from before you take your actions on this particular topic. So the 8 of Cups, it talks about moving towards a goal, sometimes a spiritual goal. Sometimes it's talking about just getting on a more solid path. You see that the cups are left behind the person here, the captain. You are the captain of your own ship, your own life, right? My captain, that is you. So, you are in charge. These cups are left here. One of them is even spilled. And they're left here because the person doesn't need them. They're moving on. They've left these behind. They're perfectly fine cups. They're even in their own little suitcase. But this person does not need them for where they are going. They are moving on. So getting on a more solid path. You're using your intellect. You're getting this higher ground, this higher perspective in order to have this transformation, to find your path and get in a better place with this path. And then we have 7 of Pentacles. 7 of Pentacles, this talks about a long-term harvest, a sustainable harvest that leads you to your goals. And the clarifier is the Queen of Cups in the reverse. Now the Queen of Cups in the reverse, I'm not the best with reversals yet, so give me just a moment. The Queen of Cups in the reverse, unfortunately, can talk about insecurity. It can talk about being emotionally manipulated or just being codependent. Somebody around you could be causing this codependence. So when you're looking to have this harvest, it's not a harvest of dishonesty or somebody taking advantage of you and manipulating that you're looking to have. You're really looking to get rid of that, right? You're looking to move away from that and to be more stable, and you're trying to find your solid path, your solid ground with this 8 of Cups. This Queen of Cups is what you're moving away from. So that is week 2. And week 3. I have to admit, this kind of threw me for a loop at first. We have the 5 of Swords and the 3 of Wands. Now, the 5 of Swords, this talks about somebody who wants to win at all costs. It talks about competition and entitlement, selfishness, basically. At its, and December can be a month for the selfishness coming out in people. So, like, at its best reading, it talks about competition and how you're dealing with that competition, and just having a lot of conflict and how you're dealing with that competition and not being able to communicate. It might be talking about jealousy. And jealousy is not good for your mental health. Neither is winning at all costs, to the point where you betray somebody, or you feel this sense of entitlement, so you're willing to do anything and everything to win. That's not good for your mental health down the road. It may be good temporarily for something like finances, but it's going to eat at you. So this could be somebody around you who is having this sort of, I have to win at all costs, and you could be the person walking away from them, trying to find your way through the maze to get away from this sense of entitlement that they have, this sense of, I need to win. I need to win all the time. I don't care what it's about. Everything has to go my way. That type of mentality can be harming you this month, and in particular this 3rd week of December. So the clarifier for it is the 3 of Wands. And if you look at this 3 of Wands, this person is now standing on an edge, almost like the Fool does in most cards, in most decks. I mean, this person is standing on the edge, and there's wide open sea. There's also mountains with a lighthouse to guide the ships, right? But there's open sea here. There's boats sailing on it. There's 3 boats, 3 wands. So 3 sides to everything, right? People will say there is yours, mine, and the truth, or yours, mine, and the unbiased in between. Now, 3 wands, it talks about expansion and growth. It talks about doing your long-term planning so that you can find your path to expand and grow. And to me, this is all about getting out of this situation, getting away from whoever this 5 of Swords person is, whoever this Queen of Cups in the reverse is. And they could be male or female. It could be work-related, or it could be somebody more likely in your personal life. To me, this is you looking at, okay, I don't want to be around this energy anymore. How do I get out of it? And then figuring that out. And then we do have the other card for this 3rd week is 6 of Swords. It is getting out of that energy again. This card kept flying out of the deck every time I put it back into the deck to shuffle for the next week. It kept flying out. It was coming out. I cannot emphasize how much 6 of Swords is your card for this month if you are an earth sign, getting out of this negative thinking, this negative energy that is surrounding you, and really having this rite of passage to a better life, to more stability, to calmer waters, calmer emotions, calmer thinking, releasing your baggage, maybe even ghosting, somebody. This change, these solutions that you find on this journey of self-healing, it's gonna lead to a long-term effect in your life. The changes are gonna ripple out, and it's gonna be huge, right? So the Six of Swords this week, the third week in December, the clarifiers are the Page of Wands and the Nine of Pentacles. Okay, Nine of Pentacles, this talks about being in harmony with everything that is going on around you, with your life, with even your internal thoughts and your health. Having that satisfaction that when you look on what you've accomplished, you are now proud of it. You are now celebrating. You're playing that fiddle, right? And you're dancing. The Page of Wands, this can talk about inspiration. It's really looking at yourself and where you want to go in life on a deeper level. Looking at all the different aspects of yourself, the different aspects of your life, combining them into one bigger picture and figuring out, okay, what do I want to do? Is this really what I want? In regards to like somebody having that that mindset of winning at all costs, is that really what you want? Is that, if it's referring to you, is that who you want to be? Do you want to betray the people around you? If it's not referring to you and it's referring to, say, a boss, do you want to work for that kind of person? Or do you want to, get out of there because, maybe they chopped, they laid off your coworker, and now you're constantly wondering when you're going to get laid off. It's that kind of Page of Wands, is that kind of really deep examination of these things that you're afraid to examine sometimes, or these things that you really need to take a deeper look at and make a decision on. The Page of Wands is telling you, if you need to do research, get that research. If you need to just simply go within and look further within, it's telling you to look further within. You see these scrolls of knowledge, and they're telling you, you can get this knowledge. You have this knowledge. You see again, here's the life star in the sun, in the solar system, and there are ladders leading into the galaxy, leading away from where you are. You have that ability to tune into yourself and really listen to the message of what you want to do in this situation. I just realized the ladders in the sky that lead to the universe, that lead to the expansion, also look like the spine. The spine is a ladder. I'm not sure what that means. Might be something to do with the chakras, the kundalini. Although they usually say that's a snake, but that's interesting. Okay, so Six of Swords with Page of Wands and Nine of Pentacles. Really figure out where you want to go, and you're going to get this harmony. Once you figure out where you want to go, you'll get this harmony of the Nine of Pentacles. You really need to examine it, though, with that Page of Wands. Okay, week 4 of December. This is pretty interesting. So we have Death in the Three of Swords. Death is transformation, right? Not necessarily a literal death. Can be, hopefully not the week of the solstice and Christmas, and some people celebrate Yule this week, although it is not the actual Yule. So death, it talks about, all people, all living things are equal, and they will have to transform. They will have to give up this life. They will have to give up the things that they've acquired, and they will have to move on. They will have to change and transform. You see the king, the high priest, the common man, the laborer in the tradition, the traditional quote unquote three classes of humanity, and they all have to bow to death because nobody survives. So this transformation, this change that you have to go through in order to move on with your life, in order to move forward, it's necessary for your mental health. The Three of Swords is the clarifier. The Three of Swords is a card that talks about heartbreak. It talks about rejection. It talks about some sort of loss, some sort of denial happening. And you see the swords stabbing this person in the gut and in the proximity of the heart, right? So this can be a card of betrayal and heartbreak. It can be a card of not following your intuition, not listening to your gut, because you sometimes take your mind, your thoughts over your emotions, and you need to listen to your emotions too. But you see, even though this character, they're still walking. Even though they've got this heartbreak, they've got this betrayal, this rejection, whatever it is, they're still standing on solid ground. They're still walking. They're parting the rain clouds, right? And they're the one changing the rain clouds. They're the one pushing them away. The Three of Swords talks about wisdom, learning from your mistakes, learning from this heartbreak, this rejection, this lack of being connected to yourself, learning from that and transforming your life because you've learned from that. This change this week in week 4 is inevitable, and you need to learn from it in order to move on. When you learn what it is that you needed to from this heartbreak, it's going to help you. The Empress, she is all about abundance. This week 4 of December, she is about nurturing an idea from the beginning all the way to its maturity, all the way to the end, until it's a physical reality, or until it creates the physical reality. So you're really nurturing this idea to bring about this abundance, and you're doing that because you want to have a balance in your life. The Six of Pentacles talks about a balance between giving and taking. It talks about a balance between what is healthy for you and things in the material world that aren't healthy for you, such as overworking is not healthy for you. Don't overwork this week. I know that most people are on vacation this week, but you could be overworking. So when you're looking at this idea in order that's going to help you achieve your abundance, don't think that overworking is going to be the thing that gets you your abundance. It's not. It's going to cause issues. Judgment talks about leaving behind the things that don't serve you to move towards a better place. So this can be a better place mentally in your life. It can be a better place in the actual physical world, or it can be like a better place spiritually. So leaving behind anything, particularly emotionally, that is not helping you. Like if you're having negative thoughts about, I don't have enough possessions, or I have only bad health, that's affecting your ability to create abundance in your life. That's affecting an imbalance in your life, and you need to leave that behind. This can also talk about like leaving behind physical clutter. It's well documented that if you physically clean your area, rearrange stuff, declutter, get rid of stuff, it helps you mentally. It helps you better mentally. It helps with focus. It also helps, like, just the act of doing something can take your mind off of an issue, and your mind will still keep working on it unconsciously. But if it was frustrating you, if it was stalling you, when you get up and you do something, particularly you clean, you sort through stuff, your mind will also keep working on this issue that was frustrating you, and you'll get a solution without needing to be frustrated. Sometimes you go back to it, sometimes it just pops into your head. Your mind was working on it in the background. Not sure why I went down that tangent, but yeah, this Empress, you're nurturing ideas on how to get your abundance, on how to leave behind the stuff that doesn't work for you, in order to get this balance between the give and take in your life. Now, week 5, this will be the week right before New Year's. So we have Two of Wands. Two of Wands, this talks about finding your path. You see this person is holding a model of the world. This person is holding a model of the cosmos. And they're trying to figure out, which way do I go? They're looking out. They're looking above the turrets. They've got this higher ground in order to sort of visualize their path. And they're trying to open that doorway to expand forwards. And the path has to do, we got a bunch of cards in the reverse and one in the sideways. 5 of Pentacles in the sideways. Now, 5 of Pentacles, when it's in the upright, it talks about debt. It talks about lack mentality, poor health. It talks about feeling like spiritually bereft sometimes too. Like you're in exile and you're isolated. Nobody cares about you. You don't have enough finances. Poor me, woe is me. That kind of attitude. It can be actual physical debt and actual poor health, but a lot of times it's just the mentality. So having it be in the sideways, it could be that you're trying to get out of that mentality, or it could be that you're slowly going into that mentality, which is not good. The other clarifiers, 3 of Wands. Again, the card of expansion and growth, finding your path. When it's in the reverse, this can be stalling. It can be a lack of foresight. It can be not planning for the future. So you're trying to find your vision for your path. to get out of this lack mindset. And we've also got, where did the Fool go? The Fool in reverse for this. So you're not taking those steps to move forwards. You're stalling. And then Queen of Pentacles and Three of Pentacles in the reverse. So Queen of Pentacles in the reverse, it does talk about imbalance of work and personal life. It talks about being superficial, sometimes having this martyr complex. Ace of Wands in the reverse, lack of direction, unmotivated, impatient. It can talk about a delay. So this is almost saying the same thing with this Ace of Wands. It's almost reinforcing this lack of direction here for this week. Really lacking direction and vision to get out of this lack mindset and this feeling of negativity that you're having. And then the other card for this week was the King of Pentacles. The King of Pentacles, it talks about long-term stability with your health, with your finances, your career, with your material possessions. This is what you want. This is what you're trying to get with this Two of Wands, with this vision. You're trying to get out of, you're trying to find this lack of direction that's going to lead you to the King of Pentacles. Okay? So you need to end the lack mindset. And the Knight of Cups, this is talking about taking action towards this transformation. The Knight of Cups is very slow moving, but if you have a long time to build your stability, you don't really need to move that fast. The Knight of Cups has balanced emotion. He moves forward very slowly, but every gain that he makes is a solid gain. He can be quite passionate too, but the passion it's for the movement forward. I hope this made sense to you. So really looking at what you can do for mental health week 1 is to get away, to make the decision to get away from negativity. Whatever the negativity, whatever the Six of Swords is representing for you. Really transitioning out of that, whether it's a situation or it's a way of thinking. The second week, it's to get that unbiased opinion and make solid steps to get on your path. The third week, it's also the same thing. It's the Six of Swords. It's getting away from the negativity, finding what brings you harmony, finding your path to get away from that. Whoever has that sense of winning at all costs and entitlement, it's finding a way out of that. Fourth week, it's transforming your ideas, nurturing your ideas, leaving behind what doesn't serve you, leaving behind the heartbreak, learning from that heartbreak. In the fifth week, it's getting out of, finding a path out of that lack mindset, out of that negativity that tells you you can't do this, the controlling nature, and really moving towards long-term stability, taking action towards that. You're in a very transitionary month, I think. Hopefully, this helps. Have a great day.